On August 27, 2025, Minneapolis was forever changed. During a morning mass at Annunciation Catholic Church and School, a shooter opened fire, killing 2 children and injuring 18 others. The attacker died by suicide at the scene, leaving the city in shock and grief. The investigation quickly led authorities to a quiet rental house in St. Louis Park, where the attack had been meticulously planned. The contrast between the peaceful neighborhood and the violence it harbored stunned residents. As the city mourned, the search for answers began, uncovering a disturbing story that stretched far beyond the church walls. The attacker was identified as 23-year-old Robin M. Westman, whose name and face quickly became the focus of both local and national headlines. The revelation sent shockwaves through the community, as people struggled to understand how someone so young could be responsible for such a violent act. Westman had only recently moved to St. Louis Park, Minnesota, following a difficult breakup that left her seeking a fresh start. She arrived in the quiet suburb with little fanfare, blending in among the rows of similar houses and unassuming neighbors. As a trans woman, Westman was largely unknown to those living nearby. She kept to herself, rarely interacting with others, and her presence in the neighborhood went mostly unnoticed. The short time she had spent in the area meant that few, if any, had formed any real impression of her. The move provided Westman with the privacy and isolation she needed to finalize her plans. With closed curtains and little activity around her home, she was able to prepare for the attack without drawing attention or arousing suspicion from the community. Just hours before the shooting, Westman posted a chilling video online. In the footage, she displayed an array of weapons and shared extremist writings, making it clear that she had a violent plan in mind. Her final words in the video, "I'll make my own effing stars," were both cryptic and deeply unsettling. Investigators later discovered this digital footprint, which revealed a deeply troubled mindset. The posts and videos left no doubt that the attack was premeditated, and that Westman had been planning it for some time. The anonymity and brief residency allowed Westman's preparations to go completely undetected. Neighbors, unaware of the danger next door, went about their daily routines, never suspecting the tragedy that was about to unfold. In the aftermath, police and investigators were left to piece together the attacker's motives and state of mind, searching for answers in the fragments of her online life and the quiet secrecy of her final days. The Fernhill rental house looked like any other in St. Louis Park, modest, quiet, and unremarkable. Nestled among tree-lined streets and well-kept lawns, it blended seamlessly into the peaceful neighborhood, giving no hint of what was unfolding inside. To passers-by, it was just another home, a place where families might gather for dinner or children might play in the yard. Inside, however, the atmosphere was far from ordinary. The house became the command center for the attack, where Westman meticulously assembled weapons and tactical gear, transforming the living room into a staging ground for violence. Maps, notes, and equipment were spread across tables, turning the once inviting space into a hub of grim preparation. A neighbor's security camera captured Westman's van parked outside the house the day before the shooting, providing a crucial link between the location and the crime. The footage, later reviewed by investigators, became a key piece of evidence showing that the quiet rental was more than it appeared. The video posted online matched the home's interior, confirming it as the planning site. Details in the background, furniture, wall colors, and even the arrangement of objects, left no doubt that this was where the attack was orchestrated. The ordinariness of the house made its role in the tragedy even more unsettling for the community. Neighbors who once felt safe now viewed the home with suspicion and disbelief, struggling to reconcile its familiar appearance with the horror it concealed. Residents were left grappling with the reality that such darkness had been hidden in plain sight. Conversations on the street turned somber as people questioned how something so terrible could happen so close to home. The house now stands as a stark reminder of the violence that was conceived within its walls, a silent witness to a tragedy that shattered the peace of an unsuspecting neighborhood. Police descended on the St. Louis Park house within hours of the attack, quickly transforming the quiet neighborhood into a hive of activity. Officers cordoned off the area, establishing a secure perimeter and ensuring that no evidence would be disturbed. Neighbors watched anxiously as investigators moved in, aware that something serious had happened but unsure of the full scope. A search warrant allowed law enforcement to comb through every room, leading to the seizure of tactical gear, digital devices, and stacks of documents. The absence of firearms was immediately noted. Investigators soon learned the arsenal had already been moved to the church, raising new questions about premeditation and intent. The evidence collected is now central to piecing together the planning, possible ideology, and whether Westman acted alone or had help. Detectives are meticulously cataloging every item, searching for hidden connections and overlooked details. Investigators are poring over digital files, emails, and social media accounts, hoping to uncover clues about motives, online activity, and any communications that might reveal a broader network or warning signs missed. The search soon expanded to Westman's previous residences, as authorities sought to trace his movements and uncover any additional evidence that could shed light on his state of mind and preparations leading up to the attack. Forensic experts are now working around the clock, analyzing physical and digital evidence to reconstruct the timeline and mindset behind the attack. Their findings could be crucial in understanding how the plan was conceived and executed. Meanwhile, the community and victims' families wait anxiously for answers, desperate to understand how this tragedy unfolded, and hoping that the investigation will bring some measure of closure and justice. The revelation that the attack was planned in their midst has left St. Louis Park residents in shock. Many never met Westman, who remained a stranger during a brief stay. The sense of safety and trust in the neighborhood has been shattered. Police tape and media attention have transformed quiet streets into a scene of national tragedy. The house now stands as a somber reminder, its presence a painful symbol of what occurred. Residents are left to grieve, rebuild, and question how such horror could have been planned next door. The community's journey toward healing will be long, but the memory of that day will never fade.